Cause I be sparking and rushing mad like inside the dark. Call me Bill Snatcher, just the brother for the rapture. I hang glide, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a gauntlet and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my state.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And today we're going to be discussing the major fallout from Boruto Chapter 70, which saw two major things occur. Code got his limiters removed, and the battle of Boruto and Kawaki versus Code has been foreshadowed. However, as we all know, Boruto nor Kawaki right now are physically strong enough to take down Code, which is why Amado calculated that the duo needed time to train before they faced off with Code. But this was one thing that Amado overlooked in the case of Boruto, which is the Pure Eye, better known as the Jogan. For the longest time, ever since we were first shown Boruto's Dojutsu in 2016, during the events of Boruto Chapter 1, and in 2017, when one of the lead animators for Boruto officially named the Jogan on his blog. Fans have been eagerly awaiting that moment where Boruto would consciously manifest the eye. Throughout the series, in particular the anime, we've seen the eye pop up here or there, but ever since the events of the time slip arc, Boruto's Dojutsu has not appeared in the series, which lines up with what Toneri told us, that the time for the Pure Eye to show itself is still a ways away. However, Boruto's Pure Eye popping up during the upcoming battle with Code might do two things. One, give Boruto the power amp necessary to strike a serious blow that is enough to potentially get room to escape from their confrontation, or put Code out of commission by doing so much damage that Code himself is forced to escape. Or number two, it might give us the answer to another question that has been in the community for 6 years now, which is, how did Boruto get the scar on his eye? Now, if Code sees Boruto's Jogan activate during their battle, and it directly lines up with Boruto experiencing any sort of power increase in battle, the idea of Code pulling a Momoshiki and trying to destroy Boruto's eye, it isn't crazy. Just as Momoshiki destroyed Sasuke's Rinnegan in a strategic move, Code could attempt to do the same with Boruto after seeing his Jogan. As things stand right now, Code without his limiters is a lot stronger than Boruto. Even if Boruto were to draw on 100% of Momoshiki's power and do so perfectly, Code should still be considered heads and shoulders above Boruto. However, it's going to come down to which version of Jigen that Amado was referring to when he stated that Code without limiters possessed power beyond Jigen. Was this Jigen before he juiced himself up on Jubi Chakra, which I've seen people say, since Code was stated to have been stronger than Jigen and he willingly asked to have the limiters placed on him so as to not disrupt the leadership of Kar, and because Jigen was the vessel of Ishiki Otsutsuki. This would have been around the time that Amado had altered the bodies of Ada and Code as well as the other cyborgs who were ultimately destroyed, so it makes sense that Jigen, who Amado referred to, was the weaker version of Jigen, since Code's limiters were not likely placed onto him right before Naruto and Sasuke got destroyed by Jigen during Naruto and Jigen's custody battle for Kawaki. If it's that version of Jigen who Amado referred to, then Momoshiki's power being added to Boruto's base, it might be enough to where the Jogan awakening could push Boruto to nearly finish off Code and force him to retreat. However, if this is Jigen post Jubi Chakra, there's no way that Boruto stands a chance with just Momoshiki's power, because Boruto's base isn't strong enough where the addition of Momoshiki's power is going to put him at levels higher than Naruto's 6-pass chakra mode, which was used in the battle of Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen, which is why the Jogan awakening here would work narratively. And I'll explain why. So let's be clear. I know some of you guys might be asking, but since Masashi Kishimoto took over writing the story, does he even know about the Jogan? And the answer to that is emphatically yes. We know for certain that Masashi Kishimoto knows exactly what the Jogan is, and here's your proof. Back when Ukyo Kodachi was the writer for the Boruto manga and the key writer for the Boruto anime, he tweeted in 2017 that Naruto series creator Masashi Kishimoto, quote, meticulously, end quote, checked over the script for Boruto's episode 8 and 9, requesting specific changes be made to the script, which For more on why Masashi Kishimoto was so focused on these episodes in particular, you should check out my video that I have on the channel titled The True Story Behind Naruto and Hinata's Third Child. But getting back to how this ties into the Jogan, I'm going to lay it out for you simple. So it was in these episodes that Boruto was approached by Toneri in his dream, and Boruto saw the Jogan Eye specifically. Take of that what you will, but there have been people bringing this up as a reason to why Masashi Kishimoto might write the Jogan finally appearing at this point in the story. However, let's look at the pluses that come from Boruto awakening the Jogan here in this situation. What advantages would Boruto actually gain? Would it make that much of a difference? Well, for starters, the Jogan would give him the advantage of being able to potentially see which of Code's claw marks Code is about to actually appear out of, or his limbs are about to appear out of, since it's a space-time ninjutsu, and Boruto's Jogan allows him to see the rifts that are created when those space-time ninjutsu are being used. Boruto also has the opportunity to employ sensory abilities that come from using the Jogan, which, according to one of the animators who worked on the Naruto franchise for over a decade, the Jogan has sensory abilities that rival Naruto's own sensory abilities when he's using Biju Chakra. That sensory power could come in handy when fighting against Code because it makes him easy to track. Even if Boruto loses sight of Code during their battle, he's got that ace up his sleeve. Now, we also know that the Jogan does give Boruto a power amp when it's activated that appears to cause excess chakra to flood into Boruto's body, which in turn is used to amp up his physical stats. We saw a visible speed increase when he hit the Rasengan on Momoshiki in the anime, and when he activated the eye against Urashiki outside the Sand Village, Boruto suddenly generated enough force to shatter Urashiki's horn. That extra amp of power on top of Boruto already using the Karma, it might very well be that hidden trap card that's needed to change the flow of battle when Boruto himself inevitably takes on Code, because Code is hunting down Boruto. However, the main issue here is, does it make sense for Code to know about this eye because he's an Otsutsuki worshiper? And for the people that say that that's a good idea, they say, well, the Jogan was stated to be an eye that the Otsutsuki fear, so obviously Code wouldn't know about that eye. And the Otsutsuki god that we saw when Ishiki was talking to Code, telling him to carry on his will, the Otsutsuki god had that eye as well. I've seen other people ask, does it make more sense for him to see the eye as a problem and seek to have it destroyed? The reveal of Boruto's eye has to be handled with a very delicate hand, because when you go and rewind time 6 years ago, the main questions in the fandom were, number one, why was Konoha destroyed? Number two, who is Kawaki and what did he do to Naruto? Number three, what were the markings on Boruto's body? Is that some type of a curse mark? Number four, why did he have a scar on his eye? And number five, what was the dojutsu that Boruto activated? In the time since then, between the anime and the manga continuities, we've gotten answers to some of those questions, but Boruto's scar and the Jogan are answers that still hadn't been answered yet. Now, personally, I don't see this being the case, the eye popping up right here, but I know enough of you guys wanted me to cover this scenario and its impact that I went ahead and made this into a video just to gauge the pulse of the community. However, my question to you guys is, do you think that this is the moment we see the eye? And if so, is this also the moment that Boruto gets his scar? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.